Hey everybody, it's Sarah with Coffee Knits with Sarah. I'm a knitter, a stay-at-home mom, and a gardener here in Metro Detroit, Michigan. And in today's podcast episode, we're gonna be going over all the things that I'm working on currently, including prepping for Rhinebeck and baby knits, as well as my latest finished object, which I'm wearing, my shawl, and a sweet little story about somebody who watched my last podcast. So if any of that sounds interesting, stick around and let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about what I'm wearing. It's the Rock Formation Shawl and it is gigantic. So I don't know how I will accurately show this to you. Maybe I'll insert a photo. But I started this shawl in June and I finished it at the end of August. So this was my summer whip, if you will, and I loved it. It was the perfect thing to work on during this muggy Michigan summer. It was, I think I've said before, very addicting. It's just a lot of ribbed, knitting and purling. Is it showing up? Kind of. So it's ribbed and then some cable detailing, specifically here at the end. You can really see it, or at least this is the part that's the most ribbed. Yeah. And what was I going to say about this? I have not officially blocked it. I've steam blocked it and I plan to wet block it soon, but just for the sake of getting it on the podcast, here we go. It's just, it's so big. It's knit up in Fiber Story, which the blend was merino alpaca and the colorway truffle. And she's a Michigan yarn dyer, and I just think it's the perfect neutral, at least for me. And I'm very excited to wear it this fall. I've talked about this in prior podcast episodes, so I'm not gonna go on too much more about it, but I did just want to say that it was so refreshing to knit a shawl and not have to worry about whether it was going to fit me properly like a garment, and think about ease and anything like that. So if you're looking for a good palette cleanser and you have yet to knit a shawl, or it's been a while since you've knit a shawl, I really suggest you give this pattern a try. I really enjoyed it. So, and with that, let's move on. I feel like I need to slow down, but I also want, there's so much I have to talk to you guys about, and I'm excited because I'm in my new office setup, which if you watched my last episode, you'll have seen how this all came together. But let me just take a breath. Okay, let's go. I also feel rushed because my husband and I are going to my daughter's preschool tonight to meet the teachers and learn more about that. So I feel like I'm squeezing this in. I really want to get this podcast episode recorded before we have to go to that. Anyways, let's talk about Rhinebeck. I am going to Rhinebeck for the first time ever. I'm so excited. I'm going with 3 of my best friends and one new to me friend who is a friend of theirs. And we're all going to be staying in a house, which is, I guess, the thing you do when you go to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, also known as Rhinebeck. And we are road tripping it from Metro Detroit to upstate New York. And in kind of celebration of that, we are casting on a fun little cuff, and I'll show that in just a minute. But we are also, I think my husband's home. Yeah. We are casting on a little cuff, and then we're also listening to an audiobook together called A Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which really like gets me in the mood for fall. It's just such a cozy, sweet book. I'm listening to it while I knit. I love audio. And anyways, let me show you. So we're going to a Woolen affair, which is one of the events leading up to the official Rhinebeck event. And they released this little pattern. It's the official like friendship cuff for a Woolen affair, and it's these little sheep that just repeat. It's a colorwork motif, and my friend Jamie dyed the yarn for this, and so we're all using her yarn to knit this up. Let me show you all the little mini skeins of yarn. They're all very jewel tone, if you will, which is like colors I really enjoy. And yeah, we're just slowly chugging along on this and listening to that book, which is so fun. And it's been a hot minute since I've done any color work. So doing any catching floats again is like, yeah, I'm having to remember how to catch floats, and I'm not like a color work professional, so I know there's like a correct way to hold the yarn so that the colors that you want to be dominant are in the front and the ones that you don't are in the back. I'm trying my best to do that and remember to do that, and also to catch floats so that they don't peek through. But there are some spots where the black is peeking through a little bit with the white when I was trying to catch the very long float here. I prefer like not to have more than 4 stitches worth of a float, if that makes sense. And there's a few spots on here where like the sheep are bigger than 4 inches or 4 stitches. Why do I keep saying inches? So, but yeah, this is like a really fun little color work project that we've been working on, and I'm about, I don't know, like 40% done. There's like this much more, and it's just like a little bracelet that we're gonna wear to the event. A friendship cuff for Rhinebeck. And I have this adorable stitch marker here, which leads me into my next talking point, which is kind of a funny story. So one of my sweet friends and followers here, she reached out to me after my last podcast episode where I talked about the destashing of some of my yarn, specifically sock yarn, self-striping yarn. And she, her name's Jonna, and she just encouraged me to keep chugging along and trying with sock knitting. And if you've been around a while, you know my history of sock knitting, but if you're new here, I am like an aspiring sock knitter and I've knit 1 pair of socks and would like to knit more, but I haven't quite figured it out, and I always get distracted by something else to knit. But anyways, she reached out to me on Instagram offering to send me yarn that would inspire me to knit socks. And so I'm gonna show that to you right now because it was a complete surprise. This is one of them. Apologies for the lighting. I am recording this in the late afternoon here. I feel like the lighting is not the best. But these are totally my colors. And this one here is called Coffee Date. How sweet is that? Oh, that's backwards. Coffee Date. And these are both self-striping. This one is from Nomadic Yarns, which I've used before in Christmas Past. What a sweet name. And so she sent these beautiful skeins of yarn. I'm just like itching to cast them on now. And then she also sent me this stitch marker, which I've been using on my little sheep project. Let's see if I can get it to pick up. It's like a little pumpkin coffee to go mug. It's adorable. And it didn't end there. She sent me a Knitting Nelly bag. I mean, I can't even. I have one other Knitting Nelly bag and I adore it. And so this is like the perfect fall, small little sock bag. I'm actually using it right now for the friendship cuff that I'm, a Woolen Affair friendship cuff, but it's adorable. So, and she sent this postcard and wrote lovely things on it. I mean, this is just like what the knitting community is all about. I think like connecting with people, and I just couldn't believe how thoughtful she was, taking time to send me yarn from her stash that I would enjoy using. And it's just people like her who go above and beyond to make other knitters and people in this community feel embraced and supported in like our journeys as creative people. So I just thank you, Jonna, if that's how you say your name. I just really felt so loved when I opened this package from you with all these goodies. Yeah, it's like the best little warm hug that I've ever received, and I can't wait to knit them up. And yeah, there's not much more to say except I want to knit socks now. One of the last things I want to talk about is, upcoming projects. And then I think we will wrap up. So I think I've hinted before that I want to do, or I need to do baby knitting. So I have 4 babies in my life that will be due in the next 6 months. People who are close friends and people in my life, family as well, that are expecting little babies, and I just can't resist knitting things for them. So the first thing that I cast it on last night is, let me look up the pattern really quick. It's the Frankie Sweater Baby Size by Petite Knit. And this is my first Petite Knit pattern, but I just could not resist, and I'll pop a picture up here. I couldn't resist the rainbow look for this pattern, and I really don't have much done, much to show. I was hoping to have some of the color added in, but I really just have cast on the yoke here. So it's knit from top down. I'm knitting the second size, and then I'm about to do the raglan increases and then add in the stripes, which is the part that I really want to show you because the colors I picked out are, I think, really fun. I went to Heritage Spinning and Weaving and just had a blast with, I'm forgetting her name, but with one of the people that works there, and we picked out this palette. How fun is this? So it's kind of a little funky with the green. And then we've got like our soft yellow and our like light blue and our bright teal and our purple and our tomato red and our pink. It brings me joy when I see these yarns. And I'm pairing it with just like the most neutral, warm kind of white. And all of these are Barocco Vintage Baby. So it's soft machine washable blend in a DK weight, except for like 1 or 2 skeins, I think, or something else. But it was just so nice to go to an actual store and squish yarn and pick out the colors in person instead of online. And I just know Heritage has a lot of like baby yarns, specifically the Barocco. And the person I'm knitting this for, although I know they would love and appreciate a wool garment, I just wanted it to be easy for them to take care of and love. So I opted for this like machine washable blend, which really is just acrylic, wool, and nylon. And it's very soft, which is perfect for, you know, babies and little kids. I probably am gonna have leftover, well, I know I'm gonna have leftover yarn. And so I'm hoping to even knit like a second sweater, either like for my own kids or for another baby. And I'm just really excited to knit something colorful and cute. I haven't really knit many baby garments before, like true baby garments. I've knit a sweatshirt for my toddler at the time. Now she's, I think, technically not a toddler. And I also, like I said, I have a few babies that I'm planning to knit for. So I'm planning to knit a little duck. I'll put a picture up here as well as the pattern name because I'm blanking on that. But the yarn needed for it is Drops Air. And I can't find that anywhere in the US. I need to look online and see if I can buy it online somewhere. I would really like to use the Drops Air, like the yarn that the pattern calls for. But if any of you have suggestions for alternatives to that, I'm all ears. Again, it's just going to be for like a cute little stuffed animal, like a little duck. And then I also plan to most likely knit a baby blanket and then some hats as well. I can't resist. Hats are what got me back into knitting, and it's been a while since I've knit a good hat. And I'm planning to do like a matching set for siblings. And if you have any recommendations for a cute little hat, I'm looking at some on Pearl Soho, which they're kind of my go-to pattern for baby things, which I know there's so many more people out there who knit baby or create baby patterns. But yeah, those are like the 4, maybe more baby patterns I plan to do. I don't know. I was on the fence for a little while about whether or not I wanted to do any baby knitting or if I just wanted to get people gifts instead. But I just think that knitting for babies is such a joyful thing, or like a beautiful way of showing that you love somebody as they either become a parent for the first time or wherever they are in their journey, like their second, third, whatever. It's just a very unique and special gift. And yeah, I'm excited to knit some baby things. It's been a while since I've done it, and it doesn't happen all the time that you have babies born in your life. And I think take advantage of it while that is like your stage in life. So if you're watching this and I'm knitting for your baby, surprise, things are coming your way. All right. And with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. I'm just looking over here at my notes to make sure I covered everything. Yeah, I think that covers everything. Thank you for watching. And also, I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone who watched my last podcast episode about my office transformation and switch. And thank you for all the suggestions you shared about layout and my Murphy bed, like obsession. I really read through all those comments and appreciated each and every one of them. Thank you if you watched the part about destashing yarn. I still have not formally listed or destashed any of that yarn. It's still kind of sitting in a bag waiting to be gone through one more time. And I'm also not sure where to destash. Like, if you're watching this, like, and you've had experience with destashing, do you prefer like an Instagram account Or I know some people destash on Discord, or they destash in other ways, which are eluding me right now. But if you have ideas on where the best place for me to destash my yarn is, that would be great. I haven't done much research into it yet, but I do plan to do that soon. Probably before Rhinebeck, when I buy more yarn. Also, if you're planning on going to Rhinebeck, please tell me below in the comments. I would love to see you there. Don't hesitate to say hi if you see me and my friends. I'm just really excited to go. So with that, I just want to say thank you again, and happy knitting and crafting and yarny goodness, and I will see you again soon. Thank you, everyone. Bye.